Welcome to Why Japan. This podcast is focusing on collaborating with the people who work in Japan, and I would love to introduce these creative people to the world. And today we have a guest, Slavek. You've been living here for
20 years this year.
20 years, yes. So, and he's been working in the music industry for long
20
time.
years.
20 years. So,
Basically.
and so you know better than me about the music industry. So yeah, I mean, I have a
bit
bunch
longer,
of questions.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. So can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, so my name is Slavek Kowalewski. My full name is much longer, so
Yeah.
maybe we don't need to
Try it,
go.
try it.
Sławomir Stanisław Kowalewski. It's a Polish
Long.
name, but you know my passport is a bit German, so if it becomes German, then it's even longer, and so.
Oh yeah. I see.
Yeah, so but people call me Sławek in Japan. People call me Sławek or
Sławek.
Sua.
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 Oh, that's shorter
probably
and
the
easier
shortest
to
one.
remember.
Otherwise, it would be Swabe.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit
Sławek.
weird.
Yeah.
So it's always a bit of a topic. Yes.
Okay. So actually, this is the second time, right, to meet.
Yes. We
The
met one
last
time.
yeah, the first time was like last year. That was really random.
Yes.
So here we are in Kamakura, and I went to one of the bar. The bartender knew you, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking that like I'm a composer from LA, and then, I know one guy,
Yeah.
a composer, and you should follow him. And then I messaged you.
Yeah. I remember now. Oh, I think it was the friend.
Yeah.
Who was there? Yeah, it was a friend who was drinking in the bar, and she met a composer that I have to meet.
Yeah.
And then he had to meet me, and
Yeah.
we just met.
And then I messaged you. I sent you a message, and then after I left the bar, and I was just walking around,
Oh yeah, we met randomly.
and randomly
Yeah.
I saw you like 30 minutes later. I messaged you, and then are you a small?
It's crazy. It's
You're
crazy.
so random.
Yeah, but Kamakura is a very small
Yeah.
city, so if you're in the center, you will definitely bump into a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Usually.
But it's so nice, like a lot of natures, and so close to the ocean.
Yeah,
So
love
it's
it.
perfect to be creative, I guess.
Yes, and to work in peace on music,
Yeah.
So it's a very nice place to be
Yeah.
inspired, I would say.
But you've been living here for,
In Kamakura, only 4 years. So I used to live in Tokyo, close to Shinjuku, for 15, 16 years or something. 15
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. It was very. This is where you want to be when you come to Japan. You want to be in the city. You cannot be in a countryside where you don't meet people.
Yeah.
So I was in Shinjuku, basically going out for years, and then Corona hit. And then, of course, it got a bit complicated because there's nothing to do in the city when there's Corona. You don't meet people. You might as well just
can't.
not be in the city because in the cities. And I realized also that I was living in this high tower mansion with a nice view of whatever it was. But one day I just discovered that there's no place on the horizon where I can rest my eye on. It's just concrete.
No
there's,
greens.
there's no green. You cannot relax.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that's
no,
true.
this cannot go on like this. So I have to move on, and I moved on to Kamakura, which is still a pretty nice compromise.
Yeah.
I feel, because you can be in the city in an hour, 50 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
While you're in nature, or you can be at the beach.
That's true.
Every day,
I mean, it took like only 1 hour today. Yeah, to come here, and it's so nice.
Yeah, so I moved out right during Corona. It's nice, but it is a bit quiet. So I do sometimes regret not meeting people, or having a little bit of the kind of social interaction. But I guess it's a phase. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. So my question is, what brought you to Japan? Because I know you were born in Poland. And you were there till 10, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Poland, still communist Poland, so very, different times back then. Then we moved to Western Germany, which was very fancy. It was really, really nice. It's basically like switching from black and white to color television out of the sudden, like you're in color, So it was great.
I see.
And then I moved to Amsterdam to study at the conservatory with the music. And then right after conservatory, I came to Japan because I wanted to come to Japan because I was fascinated with the movies. Basically, that's what I came to do here. But also, it was something else. I think when I came here for the first time in 2003, I assume, for a concert. I had a concert. And at the moment I arrived, the first day, there was just something, I don't know, so completely different than everywhere else. The culture and also the kind of, in a way, I don't know what it was, balance, or maybe I felt the wow or whatever it was, that I immediately knew I had to move here. And I've been traveling in Asia before, Thailand and whatnot, but it had this completely different vibe. Japan has this kind of serenity and this deep, profound culture, which is just all over the place all the time. At the same time, it's very modern. So it was really, I kind of immediately knew that I'm going to move here, and I started to learn Japanese immediately after I came back from the first trip in 2003. So I still had 3 years to go with my study.
Yeah.
And then
back in
Amsterdam.
Okay.
So, and after I finished the study immediately, I moved, basically 2 months later, I moved to Japan with everything. Having no real job, I was, I thought I was going to figure it out.
Okay. So you came here as a tourist first, and then you got...
I came with a working holiday visa. It was back then. I mean, still now, I think it's a good thing. So it's a good thing for young people because you can also work. So you can you can work on different projects, not necessarily music. You can do whatever you want.
I see.
And
but are you still in the same visa or like a different visa?
I came immediately with working holiday visa.
Working holiday.
Yeah.
But you are
no. Right
changed.
now I'm permanent.
Okay,
Yes,
I see.
yes.
But
I changed the visa to artist visa after a year.
So working holiday, artist visa, and a permanent.
Yes. I mean, it took quite a while to get the permanent. I had to renew the artist visa, but it was always very doable. It was not such a big problem to actually get the visa. I mean, it was the first time was a bit of a problem because I was kind of hired by some company doing some trading, whatnot, and they were taking care of my visa. But then the immigration office said that I could not get this visa because I was not qualified to do trading. Obviously, I was not. So I have the stamp in my passport, that I was going to be deported. Yeah. They give me an extra 4 months of extension, but they told me, well, look, you have an artist diploma. Why don't you apply for an artist visa? And surprisingly, I got the artist visa within 2 weeks. It was very. So I think Japan is very generous. As far as I also know from all my artist friends, it is quite possible to get without having too many financial entanglements that you really have to have a job. It is quite possible to get a freelance artist visa as long as you have an artist diploma from an art university.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not hard to get it then.
I don't think so. Even now I have friends who regularly, renew it or got it the other day as well. It was a year ago. So I think it's still quite possible.
I see. But sorry, I have no information about I'm not familiar with the Japanese artist visa thing. But did you need to find like sponsor or something? No.
Basically, I didn't. What helps is a few recommendations, and also maybe just put a kind of a business plan or how you're going to finance yourself, or show that you have maybe some savings. But it was not really necessary either. I also have a friend who did not really have anything, but it is quite possible actually.
I see.
Quite. I mean, with the new government, they're trying to maybe be a bit harder. So I don't know how it's going to be, but. as from today, I think it's still possible.
Okay, okay, yeah. I mean, the population is like going down right now in Japan, so like we need.
Yeah, and why not have artists?
Yeah,
you know,
and then talented. So we need more.
Maybe, yeah.
Talented people. Oh, I see. Okay. You know, you've been here for 20 years. The first maybe 1 or 2 years, like you were doing those like the visa thing, but after that, like how? Because I know like you've been busy. Thanks for taking time today because like he's such a busy guy.
Oh, now I actually got busy.
Yeah.
No, it came like two months ago. I was free, you know.
Yeah, no. But how, you know, how you became like this, you know, finding how did you meet the agent and
connections for work?
Yeah.
So basically what happens, it's a beautiful thing about being a working holiday because most of the time it's just holiday, you know? So, I mean, literally in the first year, I was just going out every day. Okay. I mean, every day you were just going to drinks for drinking, meeting people, and then people would invite you the next day to something else, next weekend. I was just being out all the time. And it's true that in the beginning, when I was alone in my house, it was still a very small house and with nothing, just a mattress, you know, moved there. Yeah. As long as I was in the house, I was kind of like, what am I doing here? I was just being like kind of anxious and a bit depressed. But in the moment you go out, it's just the energy keeps flowing, you know, and then you meet people. You meet people and they introduce you to people. And I got introduced to this agency that is a piano teaching agency. I don't even know how. I just know one day when I was completely hangover, I got this phone call from this lady. It's like, oh yeah, do you want to teach piano? I'm like, what? Yes. Can you call me back later?
Yeah. I'm hungry.
I didn't say that, but it was really, I mean, I hardly even understood what she was talking about. At this time, my Japanese was still kind of, you know, mama. But then, you know, I got to teach there. It took quite a while. And this woman, a very important person in my life, introduced me to a composer, a very famous composer, who introduced me again to the commercial world, the commercials. So I started doing music for commercials. Okay, I see. Basically. And back then, and it's really funny because the timing could have not been better because it was 2007 and I just started to do commercial. And in 2008, there was this financial crash. So this whole thing, the commercials, it's just went completely off.
Like Lehman Brothers?
The Lehman Brothers shock. So all those commercial companies, the budgets were cut in half. The Honsu, nothing was left basically. From one day to the other. And I just started, you know.
Perfect time.
Literally, like it was crazy. I started in January. The crash was in summer or something. Yeah. So. And then of course, like all the people there was this big company called 30s. All the producers took their clients and opened their own small company, but it was going like not really well for a few years, you know, because you know it's a weird business. So I had to see again how it goes, you know.
I see. But how did you overcome like those times? So like you just needed to like wait?
Miracles, I guess. I mean, half of it was waiting, but after a few years, you do develop a kind of a network. So you know, some people give you jobs here and there. And then at some point in 2012, I was introduced to the kind of a major agency, Legato Music.
Legato, okay.
Yeah, and then from then on, we started to do like real jobs, basically, you know, working on. The first thing was also really funny. Was an AKB48 anime, you know, it was this kind of huge.
The idol.
The idol group. And that was the first job I had with them, and it was nice. They gave me a lot of work and a lot of jobs. Not always.
Money as well.
Yeah, for sure. There was some stability. It was not always the jobs that I wanted to have. Yeah. Because I mean, I came from Europe with the idea that I'm gonna be this artist writing this innovative music,
artisty,
combining cultures into something new for art movies. But just this doesn't exist at all. No, it's just non-existent. What exists in Japan was, I didn't know by then, was basically the mainstream TV.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit different because it's all shifting towards streaming.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it is becoming a bit more interesting, I have to say. But back then it was just the TV, the big stations.
Okay.
And those productions were very, very commercial. Very like, basically everything that you learn at the university, the conservatory, what not to do, they want this.
I mean, the film world is like kind of like that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Like, they're always like looking for something new. So you have to break the rules, I guess.
Yeah, but when you actually have to work, you have to do it exactly by always the same kind of thing, which is just dreadful.
I see.
So there was a lot of, I mean, I guess everybody has this when you work as a professional musician, you have to adjust to the needs, have to learn what they actually want, though they tell you something completely else. I mean, it was many times that I would have projects and the producer would say something completely else that they meant, especially with the commercials. I was telling you about this, that they were like, oh, we want the original creativity kind of situation, while they just wanted a copy of the sample. And I didn't know, because how could you know? Nobody tells
music.
you. Yeah, temp music. And it's still a big thing. I think everywhere. I think everywhere it's a temp music. And
I think so.
you just have to figure out what they mean, what this person means per se, you know.
Yeah, and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And elements and I see.
So, you know, I had a few successes. I had, of course, a few failures, you know. That's how it is, you know. But I guess I'm still here.
Same to me, you know. Like, sometimes like went really well. Like sometimes completely wrong. Like,
So the most important thing, I think we were talking about this before, as a composer, is not to take it personally. So if somebody doesn't like the track you made, it's not because you can't compose or they don't like your style. It's because they are weird. No, I mean not like this, but no, it's just sometimes some things is off, and you can't really know what. You know? So it's not per se your problem or some deficiency that you have or whatever. So don't take anything personally as if you're an artist. I think this is very important.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because this can really destroy you. It can make you really, really depressive, and also like just stop your creative flow, which is not so nice.
So just you know, switch your mind and like keep going.
Yeah. And just be professional. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know. Like,
that's true.
Just move on.
I see. Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, now you've been doing a lot of different, you know, gigs. You know, animation and also the TV stuff. Film.
Movies. Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to just live from movies, but it's very hard in Japan because the independent movie industry is very small and they have very limited budgets. Yeah. And so, and even if they get exposure, I mean, even if they go to festivals, like big festivals like Cannes, there's still not much money. There's still not many productions that actually are going there. And the commercial movies, it's always a bit of a tricky situation how to get those gigs, because there's just so much. Other composers, other Japanese composers, they have so much leverage with the agencies or whatever who are the representatives, that it's very difficult to compete.
I see.
But you know, we're doing the best, so I guess this is what it is.
When you moved here, how was your Japanese level though? Like you told me that you were studying.
Yes, because I knew that I was going to be here, I studied it on my own for 3.5 years. I started to study. So I was literally like sitting twice a week for like, I had this part-time job.
Back in there? Or
in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam. Okay.
After in the evening I had part-time jobs where I could sit for 6-7 hours. Just kind of, you know, there's nothing going on. So I could study Japanese. Okay. With books and writing down vocabulary, kanji, and everybody thought I was crazy, you are never going to learn it, but it actually works. You can learn Japanese quite.
I see.
If you have the time to read, you have to spend the time on learning the kanji and just repeat a lot of repetition. And my level when I came here was, I mean, I could speak, but it was still hard to sometimes understand everything. But you know how it is, when you drink, no problem, no problem, absolutely no problem. And I kind of, because it was the 5th language or 6th language maybe that I learned. And I like, actually, I don't know if you had this too in English or something, I actually like when people talk to you in a language that you kind of understand, but you don't really know what they're talking about. And you just kind of pretend that you do understand, you'll figure this out later somehow. You know, and this word, this specific word that they keep repeating, you're like, what do they mean? And then somehow, by the end of the evening or by the end of the week, you finally understood what they meant or what this word meant. I kind of like this process of just this kind of organic learning. You don't need to know every time everything. It will just come by time.
That's true. I totally get it because I speak Italian as well. I mean, not fully understand it yet, but you know, every time I go there, and then half of what they're saying I cannot understand, but like and then like and then some words like stick in my head, and then like and like couple hours later, and then
it's a really cool process. It's a really I really like this, you know. I don't know, it's kind of fun because you can see yourself growing, you know what I mean, without actually like needing to go to a school or anything, you know. It's
very inspirational, I think. You use the, I guess, like different part of your brain,
something like this.
So
it's a cool thing, you know. I mean, I still have it sometimes, you know, in Japanese, you know, especially when you watch like complicated things like
but
TV.
you are very fluent.
I mean, at this point, I guess because all the work is in Japanese. Also, you know, when you speak just casually, it's like in English. You always use the same expressions, the same words, so it's not that complicated once you know what's going on, you know. It becomes more difficult when it's like more on specific topics, subjects. I was doing the taxes right now.
Oh my god! I gotta start too.
Thanks
for reminding me. You know?
But I like always to learn something new. It's a good thing, you know. With the languages too, you know, just to kind of keep learning. It's a great thing. Also,
I think the instrument as well. You know, like I see a sitar here. Like, from India.
It's very hard.
But you use different mindset or like a brain, like because the structure is different. Like piano,
that's completely different.
It's like a language too. You know?
But I need another life for the sitar, so maybe not in this life. You know.
you gotta have a concert maybe, you know, using this one.
Maybe I stick to the piano.
Anyway, so you are already able to like speak Japanese.
A bit, and then you know you can build from there. Gotcha. I mean, I think it was good that I had all the vocabulary and kind of the kanji that I didn't need to sit at home and start from scratch. I can see that it's very hard to come to Japan for people who speak no Japanese whatsoever, and start learning from there. It's going to be hard. Because you need to spend time on your own repeating things every day for like half an hour. But you need to sit and I know when you come to Japan or like when you move to a new country, you don't have this time. When you work, you go to work, you see people, you do this, you will not be motivated, you will not have time to learn Japanese. And but there's also the other theory, you know, like my American friend says, you know, that it might be actually very helpful in Japan to speak no Japanese whatsoever. There's the two theories. You know, I prefer to speak Japanese because I like to communicate with the people. But also, I think if you don't speak Japanese at all, you can just be yourself completely, and you can get away with many things. But it's also easier just to connect. You can express what you want. You can just express it in this moment. I feel. Even with the composition, I felt that because I spoke Japanese, people are starting to treat me more like Japanese. So they would have enryoshiru. They would not express everything that they wanted, and it would become actually more difficult, which is kind of weird.
That's interesting.
So sometimes if you don't speak Japanese, don't bother. You know, really.
Okay. I mean, I met a lot of international foreign people here who doesn't speak Japanese at all, but they're enjoying it, and also seems like no problem.
Exactly, because also like the Japanese people will be then, you know, trying to be very friendly, you know, just kind of, you know, keep up with their culture and just, you know, and when you Japanese, they're like, why does he speak Japanese? Now he's maybe Japanese. Then they become a little bit cold, you know. That's what I feel. 逆に. You know, so I feel I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's good when you don't speak Japanese. Then the Japanese people will treat you very nicely.
Yeah, yeah.
In general, very nice. You'll be fine. You'll be
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
And just have a drink.
that's a very important key, actually.
I think so. Yeah.
There is a term called the nominication
Yeah.
in Japan. Nomi, like nomu, is like drinking, and then communication, like combined. Like so, when people go drink, and they open up.
Yeah.
So that builds up like a relationship.
Yes, yes. And you're not self-conscious that you make mistakes. Nobody cares. You just have to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
And I think this is what it is. When you speak a language that you don't master yet, that you find expressions somehow around what you want to say, even if you don't know the words. I think this is the best thing to kind of, I was having this same with German, because when I moved to Poland, I didn't speak a word of German. Oh, yeah? So I was in school and everybody was speaking to me German. I was like, what? I have no idea what they're talking about. But then somehow, with the few words that you have, you kind of work around it up until you actually get it, by time.
Yeah, human brains, like somehow.
Yeah, and it's good for anti-dementia, so learn some language.
Oh, that's true.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. I see. 20 years you moved here, but before that, you also, were you working in Europe? No, okay. No.
I had only like 1 or 2 projects, like small movies, but
okay.
I was studying.
I mean,
I was having a lot of baitos. Different kind of
like a part-time
job?
Yeah,
different part-time jobs, but I was never working in industry.
But what do you think, like what's the difference, like working in Japan and also like working in the European country?
See, I can't really talk about European work environment in particular my field, because I have no idea. I really don't know, And also, I'm German, kind of, my passport is German. But I wouldn't know where to go in Germany, where it is the industry, where I have no idea.
So you're not planning to go back like sometime soon? Like you love like
I'm staying. I'm definitely staying.
Yeah,
It's definitely the best place to live.
I see.
Especially now with this political turmoil everywhere, it's very nice here.
Yeah.
Also that people are so apolitical, basically.
Yeah, that's true. What's what kind of thing you love, like living here, and
the
also
peace,
downsides as well?
The peace. It's very peaceful. It's very safe. It's just
for sure. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's really nice. Food is amazing. Produce is amazing. Weather is amazing. I mean, I know people don't like the mushiatsui, the
like
humidity.
summer.
I love it.
Recommend.
I love it. Please sign me up. Nature is amazing, and people are also very nice. I think in general, people are really nice, and also that there's no scam. Most of the times there is nobody tries to scam, unless you go to Kabukicho, yes, of course.
Shinjuku,
but but usually people are very very honest. You get charged for what you only for what you consume.
No tip.
No tip.
No
yeah,
tip,
it's
no tip
it's
system.
really nice.
Yeah.
It's a really nice, and it's very clean as well somehow. So it is a kind of a hidden paradise, I would still say. Though there's of course also minus points here and there where you go like.
Yeah, I see. So those are the good side. What about the other?
The minuses, we're just coming to it right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules that have to be obeyed, and
you have to follow.
Yeah, and it's fine.
I mean, good and bad,
it's not so hard, but it is a bit overwhelming sometimes. Rule by rule.
It's follow like rules and rule.
I mean, even driving car, this is one example, it's just so incredibly stressful.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's for 6 kilometers, you need 20 minutes because you will stop on every single traffic light, which means every 300 meters you'll be stopping.
I mean, you have to stop like when it's red.
I know, but that's what I mean. In European countries, there's no traffic lights. There's roundabouts. You just go. 6 kilometers would be 5 minutes, maybe 10. max 10. You know? So like driving car can be very frustrating in Japan. You know, it's very slow, kind of safe, but at the same time not really safe because it's too much. The traffic light is too much. It's too many signs. It's too many lanes. Too many like information everywhere. It's just I feel at some point people stop actually using their own brain.
I see.
In a way, you know. I think you feel it also when you go on a train or on a bus. There's just so much information.
Yeah.
What to do when, you know. I mean, the bus driver telling me every time that he's gonna actually like start now.
Yeah.
Do we kind of need this? I don't know. It's nice at the same time, but at the same time, it's a bit much information, you know.
Yeah.
So even though there's this Zen in general, there's a lot of anti-Zen things, you know.
Very stressful.
Yeah, it's too much information. When you take the Narita Express, guys, or like whatever train you take, the first half an hour, there will be announcements. There's going to be just so many announcements. You can't just chill. It's going to be like, blah, 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 this, that. Oh my gosh.
I never paid attention because I got so used to it.
Yeah, but it's just talking.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, in the beginning I find it amazing, but it's like, wow, they tell you all this. It's just, wow.
A lot of information.
Yeah, but now it's just like,
now you need,
shut up. Now you just have peace, you know. I know it is all.
You need earplugs, maybe.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. But you don't need, actually, if you guys gonna live in the Tokyo area, and then you don't need a car at all.
No.
Because public transportation is amazing.
Yeah.
Because you live a little bit far from.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need a car. Sometimes.
But you will find other nice kind of limitations that will make your day spicy.
Oh, yeah.
No problem, you know, like just go in Tokyo. I mean, even the stations, it's really well organized, but sometimes when you're like, you know, this way, people go up, that way is only like this tiny lane, people go down, and you're in a hurry. It's like,
that's true, yeah.
Oh my God.
And when the train is late for 1 minute, and then they're gonna apologize.
Yeah,
right.
But this is nice. I mean, this is nice. I mean, in a way that, you know, in Europe, never anything is on time. At least these days in Germany.
Yeah.
Oh no! It takes.
It's late all the time. Yeah, I see.
So I mean, you can't be happy if the train comes at all. It's really. I mean, you know, I had a situation where I had to go to the airport. And it's like, oh yeah, today the train is cancelled. Oh, it's like what? And it's only like one train every 3 hours.
Oh no,
you know? Like,
that's
the fast one. You know?
Oh, I see.
So no, I mean everything is working here very well, and what I also find the biggest kind of difference between the Western culture and Japan culture, I don't just go straight to the core of it, I feel, is the ethic of works. I feel that here in Japan people like to work, while everywhere else people hate to work. I mean, you know, here whoever does whatever they do, they like doing it. They actually will do it with conviction, and they will do it. You know, they will not skip work ever.
Sure.
While in Europe, it's just like, I'm sick today. Come on, not going to work. It's not, you know,
not gonna work.
I'm sick. Look at me. You know. Yeah. So it is crazy. It is crazy. So this amount. That's why everything actually like works quite astonishingly well. It is very nice, and that you can rely on things. You know?
I see. But are you enjoying, like working like this, or do you?
I mean, now coming back to my work. Yeah, I mean, I figured it out now. I think, you know, I had you know, I had my problems here and there. I feel when it comes to studio work, it's still very inefficient at times. You know, I mean, just the way how they use time. But I guess it's fine. You know? I feel it's just they take time with their work, because I think it's in the mentality that if you work a long time on something, it's going to be good. You know, so if you just finish in an hour, it'll be like, 頑張ってなかったんじゃない? You know, so I feel like when we do record, it's you start at 1 afternoon, and first hour is just kind of sound check, then 1 hour recording break,
Yeah.
and then some more recording and break. Oh, dinner. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next guy is coming in. That's like already 7 o'clock at night. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 hours. Break. Oh no. It's just the process takes a long time. I guess it's fine. It's fine, but it's just it's different. If you want to get things done very quickly, then you just work on your own.
Are you talking about the recording?
Recordings.
Like
recordings. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's a process like? When you work on the project, let's say film and TV, like you compose like here, or there's a downstairs.
Yeah, I have my studio downstairs.
Yeah,
usually.
But do you work like by yourself, or like do you collaborate with the team?
Both.
Or both?
Both. Both is possible. I mean, both. Even now, we do both. You know, some of the projects I do completely on my own. Usually, when it's like orchestral stuff or music that needs some kind of sort of arrangement, I do it downstairs in the studio.
Okay.
You know, where you can play maybe some guitar and maybe some percussion. I have this keyboard, whatever you saw, and maybe we can record some extra instrument. If it's just a piano track, of course you know, do it here first and then you know, put it into the workstation. How do you call this? Digital audio workstation or something? DAW.
DAW, yeah.
The DAW. But also with works very well with in team working. I feel Japanese people are very good in team working in general. I feel it takes time, but everybody fills in very well. Yeah, there's always an Excel sheet. This is really good. You know, you can like rely on that.
Yeah. I see. But do you work with the more like international people as well, like together, or more like most of the time you work with the Japanese?
Most of the time it's Japanese. I would say 90%.
90%.
Yeah. Some of the projects, it depends on the year. I used to work for China quite a bit, which was a very interesting experience. You know, I mean, it was actually a very good experience because they were very fast. There was no Excel sheet, and everybody still knew what to do. So it was very like, we're done.
Okay.
And the quality was also good. So I had no bad experience with them so far.
Okay.
Sometimes I was working with Americans. Also good and bad experience. It really depends on the project. And as I said before, it really depends if you connect with the person in charge.
Yeah.
On a kind of, you know, if you understand each other, basically, you know.
I see. Oh,
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, I bet like totally different working environment. Like, you know, depends on the American production or Japanese.
Yeah, but
right?
I think in the end it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of everywhere the same. You know. You know, in America, when you send a demo and it's shit, they say, "Oh, thank you so much for your hard work." And you know, you read this already, it's like, okay, we're done. You know, what is wrong? You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same here, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, subarashi. Oh, it's so amazing. Oh my gosh, we love, but. And then there's this, I don't know, like 5 sentences, and you don't even know what they're talking about. You know? Like, they don't even know themselves. You know?
I see.
So I think it's everywhere the same.
Gotcha.
I think kind of, you know.
I see.
It's. I think it's complicated in the music world or like an artistic world to talk about something abstract. You know, so the people that you work with, they also have actually struggled to express themselves. I guess that's why it gets over like, you know, a few corners to you always. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's always, you know, the problem. Every time I work with the you know, the director in LA, and they kind of know what they want, but they at the same time they don't know what they want as well.
Yeah.
So the communication is like the key.
Yeah.
You know, like they send me the temp music, but they said, I like this part, but I don't know if it's you know, if it's fitting or not. And then I just break it down. And do you like the tempo or like orchestration? Or what do you like? What kind of elements do you like from this temp music? And I like break it down and then try to find the answer they are looking for. You know,
does it work?
Yeah, does it work? Yeah, it is work. Yeah. So,
but that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and then I make a demo first to, you know, to be on the same page. You know, so yeah, and that's how I try to like.
Yeah, it's good to break it down, maybe, you know, rather than just being completely, as we talked before, depressed and saying, "Oh no, they don't like my music," kind of situation. So yeah. It's kind of the same here. Sometimes, you know, they're like, "Oh no, it's not that," and you just change one little thing, and it works. You know?
Yeah.
So
I see.
it's case by case, how the Japanese say, you know.
Yeah.
It's really.
I see.
Nevertheless, it's interesting. It's interesting because you do have all the cliches that talk about it. I've had remember one project we were working on. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. And we were recording in the studio, and of course, you know, they always work late because they don't start at 9 o'clock in the morning. They start at afternoon. You know.
Yeah.
So then you're there, and it was literally 3 o'clock at night. And we were recording some stuff. I don't remember what it was, you know. And I was done recording.
Yeah.
Because I had to record some piano. And somebody else was still recording some of them. I was like, "Can I just go home?" And they were like, "No."
You gotta stay here.
Seriously? Like, but what? I mean, it's really, I don't have to do anything here.
I see. Yeah.
You know, so it is the pressure of that's what I was talking about. The pressure of like the
society.
Yeah, you have to be there. You have to like comply, and it's fine. So it's fine. Yeah. I guess, you know, that's for the people who don't speak Japanese at all. They can just go home.
That's the good side. Then. not to learn Japanese. I see. Gotcha. But overall, you're enjoying like working.
Overall, I think I'm enjoying it a lot. I think the trick is to when you live in Japan to move out. You know, just to go somewhere on a trip for. Every few months.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, I think the rules will they can be very, very, you know, kind of putting you down. And I have the luck and the privilege to be able to just go out, just short trips. Maybe go somewhere to Thailand or whatnot, you know,
short trip.
and come back.
Even like maybe domestic. You know?
No.
No. Okay. No.
It's still the same. So you have to be off because. What happens when you come back? You appreciate it so much.
Okay.
Even if you're out for 10 days. I was going to India a few times in the last 2 years because, and it's the opposite there. It's the total freedom in a way that because there's just so little rules. And it's just amazing. Oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
But in the moment you arrive in Japan at the airport, you just want to kiss the ground. It's just so nice. Everything is so nice. People are so nice. And so I think this back and forward.
Changing the environment sometimes. You know, every.
I mean, that is what it comes down to it. You know, I think when people are even think about moving somewhere else, in the moment you move from your original environment, you will be a third culture person. Is this what you say? Kind of situation, no? That you will have to be in between.
That's true. I totally understand actually. So and now I'm here in Japan, but basically I have 3 different base. You know, LA, Japan, and also Italy. So go back and forth like every 3 or 4 months. And then every time I come back here, I really appreciate.
It's
and then,
nice.
like Japan is amazing. You know, like when I used to live here, like so much stress.
It's a lot of
society. But once I'm out, and then I realized how amazing that was, and then come back and thank you so much. So
that's what it is, you know. And it's kind of nice to, you know. It's always good to be. I just came from somewhere, or I'm just about to leave somewhere. You know, this is a good.
I see.
Because you always look forward to something, you know. And unfortunately, I don't know. When I talk to Japanese people who are really in a seishain kind of, you know, stable work environment, who have never experienced actually being abroad, or like it's hard for them to relate or even want this. You know? I meet a lot of people. It's really funny that you say this, you know. Like in bars, they don't even have a passport. They don't actually look forward to go abroad. They don't want to go abroad. In fact,
that's true.
You know?
That's true.
But I think they have different ways of coping with the stress, or maybe it's not even stress for them. You know, maybe it's just like they're kind of comfortable with the situation that, you know. Maybe it's like the blue pill, you know, and that's how it is. You know.
That's true. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, so make
Interesting.
sure you travel like every couple months. I don't know.
No, I mean, if you come here, you will do it automatically because there's just so many things around here. It's easy to travel. It's nice to travel in Asia. You know, you can go to Singapore or like even Bali or whatever, whatever it is.
It depends on the season, but
Yeah.
it's basically it's not expensive, right? Like going to yeah.
No, now it's getting more expensive. You know, my theory is that
nowadays,
Japan, unfortunately, Japan is keeping up the prices very high for the tickets out of Japan. It's really funny when you're like when you book the same ticket from Europe to Japan, the same flight, it's like 30% cheaper or 50%. It's crazy. Yeah, the prices. I don't know why they do this. You know,
I see.
I don't know.
Because of the high, what's it called? Because a lot of tourists are coming now. No, hold on.
Yeah, so it's
like
cheap for them, you know, but so they don't want to make it cheap for Japanese people to escape, you know, kind of situation.
They don't want us to like be out. You know?
No, they want to keep them here and work.
Don't escape.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you know, we don't want to go into conspiracy theories, but it's a bit like this. So I feel it's always very expensive to get out of Japan.
I see.
So even now, I think to Thailand, if you paid a normal ticket, it used to be 60,000. Now it's
yen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I think it's like at least 100, or like you know, if you fly
So
with
like
a normal airline,
$300 or something like $400 ish, like Lokmayan. So
it used to be. Now I think it's more like more towards like you know $700. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got really expensive to fly.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you can still find cheap fares like you know Air Asia, whatever. If you're lucky, you can do this. You know, but also just the regular fares to Europe got like so expensive now. You know? It's like really crazy.
Yeah,
now.
that's true. But I mean, yeah, you
we kind of whatever. Just think about it later. Book first, you know. Like
I see. Black Friday deal. And
Yeah,
you buy 3 different tickets for in advance, maybe.
Oh yeah, they have these deals.
I don't know, but maybe you can.
Tomorrow is Friday,
I
the
don't know.
13th actually.
I hope.
Oh my gosh.
Gotcha. I see. Do you have any the goal or like you know you wanna do?
I mean, the goal is always the same, huh?
Yeah.
To just to get like more interesting projects, you know, would be really nice. I think yes, and I finally found it takes a long time to actually isolate yourself if you're an artist and just work on your own stuff. Because there's just so many things to do. You know, it's just, and even, I mean, I am a pianist. I already need to practice at least 2 hours just to keep it moving. So I want to take more time just to compose my own things and just like kind of put them out more. Because in the end, I think this is what I would really want to do. Of course, I would still like to compose for the movies, but the problem with this is that those movies are mostly in America, you know, and the competition there is just very harsh, as you know, and it's even harder to get to know the people that you would want to work with. But at the same time, I really enjoy playing the piano and physically also, you know. So I think I can just focus more on my things.
I see.
You know, I'm going to release an album soon this year again too. I'm about to compose things.
Where is the best way to find your the music then?
Oh, anything. I'll be everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, whatever.
Send me the link.
I will
so I'm gonna
definitely send it to you.
Yeah.
You know. There will be a pre-track. There will be a pre-track release beginning of March, I think. So, or like half of March or something. And then I'll send it to you. And then the album will be probably later, like by April, May or something.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and what else do I want in Japan? I don't know. Do I want to buy property? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people all do those crazy things, you know, but I don't know. I mean, you can't take it with you, so why would you?
That's true.
Why?
That's
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah. I mean, you can rent it out or something. I don't know. While you're not here.
Yeah. See, I'm a musician. I don't think so far. It's kind of
live in the moment and like focus on what you have.
People do those things, you know. And like few properties they rent out. What?
Yeah.
How? How do they manage to even think about those things?
You don't think about it, you know, like just focusing on your music.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, I think renting is very reasonable. in Japan, and it's, you know, you get the good service, and you also have the freedom to just leave anytime.
That's true. Yeah.
This is very important.
Gotcha. Well, I'm looking forward to hear your music coming out soon.
It'll be up very soon.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing.
Thank you guys for listening,
story.
and come to Japan and experience yourself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.